they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Bá sọ Yorùbá. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lù yìí. Pressure ti wà.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, and good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. I'm serious, I don't know.
Mayegun diary political.
Pressure ti wà, wàhálà ti wà, but it's always good for you to know ahead of time. Let me tell you something. Back in the days, the media, when the media used to be in the control of the criminal gangs, whether it is the capitalists or it is the politicians or any kind of people who wield some power through the media, when social media came, we took the right from them.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, so like Lórí YouTube, and yes, so like
What you are going to hear on Mayegun's Diary Political tonight is very, very serious. In fact, right now, pressure tiwa, Tinubu and gang, they are now running really, really mad, going after every platform that kind of publishes things on Tinubu's drug trafficking history and the ongoing. So Mayegun's Diary Political won't be spared. But for your own education, understanding, and in fact, for the sake of our own children, when they will begin to rewrite history, a drug dealer is a drug dealer. A drug dealer should never be a role model, even if he has been escaping justice in open. Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. We want to talk about this new video. A video of Sanwoolu, Tinubu, and a man called Diara Diara or Osman Diara. Do you all remember Buruji Kashamu and how he kind of got into Nigeria politics, became a member of a ruling party, then went on to become an elected senator? He was going to be a governor before his death. People stood for him. People defended him. People said his enemies were coming after him. Do you know why they call Nigeria a crime scene? You will get to know more tonight, at least.
Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Ayé ìṣúra yìí. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣúra yìí. Ayé ìṣúra yìí.
Thank you. As you are watching this video, Nigeria president-elect or INEC select Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now trending in so many French-speaking African countries. And the reason is simply because 2 days ago or thereabout, an investigative journalist, David Hundeyin, released a copy of Tinubu's passport as a Guinean. Now, Tinubu being a Guinean and not declaring same when he was running to be president of Nigeria is against the law of Nigeria. So, does that mean that Tinubu has committed a perjury? Rather than being the president, he should be going to jail. Well, not many people are kind of impressed about what will happen if Tinubu has a dual citizenship or he doesn't. But there is more. Guinea-Conakry. What would Tinubu be doing in Guinea-Conakry? It was a private citizen, you know. It was a governor of a state, and then from 2007, he's been a private citizen. You can give that to him. Let's leave other political godfatherism and other privilege, other stealing and looting, and then whatever he's involved in. But he's a private citizen. In 2008, a coup happened in Guinea-Conakry. That coup, right, exposed the disjointed, disorganized, and the corrupt system that they have in Conakry. Not just exposed it, it's further destroyed whatever was left. But something happened afterward. In the news, they said that the drug dealers and then the drug traffickers of the Latin America, from that 2008, with a military coup, they were able to make that country their hub of transit, drug trafficking. Okay. Then what does that have to do with Nigeria? Right. Nigeria is also kind of pointed as a drug hub or a drug transit hub in Africa too. Which means those who were the real drug lords, the real drug lord that controls it in Africa, they are possibly in Nigeria. That was the research then. But who were they? What kind of connection do they have? How have they been able to evade, right, arrest, and they have been able to smuggle tons and, hundreds of thousands of tons of illicit drugs? Well, that was undergoing behind the scene. People are being arrested every day in Nigeria for drug trafficking. Either they are trying to smuggle it or they have been arrested when they get to their destination and all of that. So Nigeria kind of got put in that bracket too. West African drug transit hub. But who are those running the drug transits within Nigeria and the rest of West Africa? A lot of us probably didn't kind of care. But like I mentioned, when you heard the names like Buruji Kashamu, Dele someone Akindele that, and some of these guys that K1 always kind of praise in his songs. Some got jailed in America. Some jailed there in the UK. Some are jailed in China, sentenced to death in all over the world, in Saudi Arabia. But who are those coordinating the trafficking? Well, there wasn't much searchlight until Tinubu decided to be the president of Nigeria. And every known thing by everyone, as expected though. See, look at me now. If I tell you that I want to be the governor of anywhere in Nigeria, they will tell you the history of they will tell me the history of my forefathers, my fathers, my great-grandfathers, and everybody that came before me, what they did. Politics will let them show that. But this is not that kind of history of your forefather. It is like my own history that I've been able to like cover for so long. So the moment you put yourself out there, you are saying, okay, check me. This is no longer what people make up. Oh. It's not make up story. It's not like tarnishing people's image or anything. These are court documented cases. So they started digging. That was when we discovered that Tinubu was the treasurer, accountant to drug traffickers in America. That if not because he ran away and he had to rat out some of his accomplices to make a deal. And even in that deal, when they were convicting others to jail, he was in Nigeria trying to be a senator in Nigeria. This was in 1993. Now, normally this won't make any much kind of noise, right? Because they will say, well, it's not been, you know what I mean? At least it's not your president. It's not trying to be the president of Nigeria. So yeah, that's it. But the moment he said he wanted to be president of Nigeria, that means what the game he has played is that his own crime has now become the crimes of Nigerians. Of course, you expect people to react. Sorry if you are a non-Nigerian watching right now, okay? If you are not from Nigeria, my accent can be sounding somehow to you, yeah? Sometimes I may want to say a word. I may say a word that will mean something different to you, get you confused. You would have to manage it, okay? Because if not for colonization or no colonization, are you with me? I'll be speaking my language right now. You probably will be listening and watching me because you've managed to study that language as well. But again, just manage them. Even if the English not too pure. Like, I don't understand this says English. You don't have to really kind of understand that much. Idea. There's something we use in Nigeria. We call it idea. You can use an idea to have an understanding of what I'm saying. Because if I have to speak in my language, right, which is what it should have been if what happened didn't happen to those before me. But it's not an excuse, okay? But at the same time, just manage them. And if you know if you manage them, read the comments, okay? Maybe you understand better. People started digging. Hang on. This is making sense now, okay? But he still went on because he's already kind of bought all of the institutions that could actually checkmate him, that could have actually stopped somebody like him. But it is a corrupt system in Nigeria, very, very deeply corrupt. Do you understand? And we are talking about somebody that we were told that he's been planning this for decades. All he is looking for right now is the immunity that's going to cover him. It's like a blanket immunity that the criminals, whether you are a genocidist, whether you are a murderer, or whether you are like, like himself, a drug runner, once you get to the presidency of Nigeria, all your sins will receive national blanket immunity. They will just say, nobody is saint. And I think that's what he wanted. Because everything he has stolen, every crime he has committed, everyone he has managed to kind of pretended to have buried, they could all kind of be, they could all be sort of, on earth at a time, and everything could be taken away from him just in a twinkle. But if he managed to get that immunity of being president of Nigeria, yeah, people will have to bear the consequences. But he would have to live and die honorably, like an honorable criminal that have, like others that have died and ruled Nigeria. Sure, you get genocide is somebody who murdered people for civilians, who killed them. They gave him a hero, national hero kind of a statue in Nigeria. His name is Muritala Muhammad, a murderer, a genocidist. Are you with me? He became head of state in Nigeria. His face is in their 20 naira in that country right now. So just so you know that there is a reason why he came this far. But you see, like I said, traditionally, in the olden days, right? The criminals, once you gain access to government, okay, and you kind of steal enough, you either buy a media house or start one, or you either have to begin to have your moles as journalists. Now, what will happen is this: when information that is so vital like this, whenever it came to the attention or into the hands of a journalist, the journalistic rule is that they will have to contact you. For example, you saw that Tinubu's Americans case, normally in Nigeria, the journalists have known about it for years, for more than 30 years. It's not new. But what happened is that whenever they come, whenever they came across it and they want to use it against him, right? Or they want to write about it, what they will do is that they will contact them, and the next thing, they will just pay them off. They call them brown envelope journalists. Are you with me? So such stories, they don't make it out there. But if by any error, the story gets to the desk of your editor. Now, if the whole company is owned by the thief you want to write about, would your editor publish the same? Of course they won't. So they will kill the story. That's the second step. Now, let's say the editor is also a rebel that wanted to tell the truth and want to publish anything and let people see the truth, right? The moment the publication, the media, once they publish that story, the following morning, once it makes the headline everywhere, the soldiers, the police, everybody, they will move straight to the headquarters of that media house. Others will move straight to all the newsstands across the country to confiscate such printout publication. Sure, you get to get them out of everybody's hand. They will arrest all the journalists. They will lock up their media house. That's the tradition. So if you want to be a journalist in Nigeria, it's like one day you get your own baptismal of fire. Before they come for you, they will first offer you a sort of something. A lot of those media guys, then, that is why when you look at them today, they are older guys, they are older people, junk journalists. So even if you want to write something against somebody, you can engineer them and pay them to write it like an opinion. So because of that, they made names, people like Femi Oponu Adeshino and his likes. So they became the gatekeepers. They were like the opinion molders that many people like us grew up knowing as people who gave opinion about Nigeria. We didn't know, right, that they were actually part of the establishment, feeding us whatever they wanted us to hear, whoever they wanted us to hate. Are you with me? Whoever the media wanted us to hate, they will just come. You will be hearing your papa, your mama. They will be talking about that person like they know the person, like, you know what I mean? Because the media is able to brainwash them. They got radio houses, they have TV houses, they employ people, okay? And they just give them the script to feed the people whatever they want. My dear people, social media just happened. Boom. No editorial review, no editorial rule checkmate. Free speech just took another dimension. These old geriatrics who are stuck in their 1800s, they are now rambling about. They have no idea how to handle it. As I am talking to you right now, my own whatever you want to know about me, okay? If I'm a public official right now, you can see them out there, just free of charge. You don't need to be going about and be looking for, let me go and look for that journalist that work for The Sun. I know that man, he's always telling the truth. At the end of the day, social media just exposed majority of those who we called veteran journalists in Nigeria. We discovered that a majority of them have been living off the crumbs from the criminals who have been running Nigeria. Depends on which side they find themselves. Social media exposed all of that. Today, young people, including old people too, because I figured something out. You see, when you talk about the obedient, I have figured out that the obedient are not just young people. There are old, grandma obedient, grandpa obedient, uncle obedient, grandson obedient. You know what I mean? Like there are actually people who have, is like an idea for them. An idea that maybe Nigeria will work if they push. So when people try to limit them to Igbo this, Igbo that, that is also to let you know that if it was in the olden days, the media would have changed the narrative so easily. Have you not noticed? But with social media, you can't really hoodwink people that much. Of course, you may take advantage of them. Yeah, like APC took advantage of the young people in 2015. That's what happened. From 2013, 2014, the social media liberated God, a lot of people. In fact, it took so many people 10 years for them to battle the change of trying to unlearn what they have learned about Nigeria. Things they knew. Like that's how you see it is. Well, my friend, you can never change Jare. My brother, see, Nigeria is this, he can never do that. You know what I mean? It took them years. With social media, people started learning a lot. The history that they didn't teach in schools in Nigeria, people started learning them. They started feeling like, I didn't know. Hey, that's not what they told us. So people started unearthing documents. I'm not talking about writing alone. No. They are bringing out documents, ancient documents, to back up a lot of to expose a lot of lies in Nigeria. This didn't go down well with the old order in Nigeria. And I think that's what they are still battling with right now. Today, social media is like everything. And the young people in Nigeria and the old people as well, they seem to have embraced it. It is only this old order that are not really getting it. And that is why they have lost the battle of propaganda, the battle of misinformation, the battle of brainwashing. They've lost it. The only thing they have left is the battle, or let me say the violence. Very soon they will lose that too. The violence where they will threaten you, threaten to arrest you, threaten to jail you, threaten you for what you say. Now, you no longer have to group into a building as journalist, as reporter, as anything anymore. Everybody now is a reporter, citizen reporters. If you put up a lie, there are people who are ready to debunk it by bringing out facts to debunk you. So it's now left for people to believe the lie or believe the truth. Now, it's no longer like, something is like, I said it because I'm old man. They will rubbish you. They will rubbish, you know what I mean? They will rubbish you, not by abusing you. They will rubbish you with facts. The older generation that are still battling this reality are the ones that are now crying about asking for respect. These people don't have respect. Don't you have a father at home? Don't you have respect? Don't you have elders? Did they not raise you well? These are the useless people, bunch of liars, brainwash loads, who have nothing else to defend themselves against the people that are more brilliant, more exposed, more intelligent than them. And that is exactly the battle today. Tinubu wants to be president of Nigeria of this 21st century. And they want to do that by lying, propaganda, intimidation, manipulation, election rigging, falsification. And they actually feel that's it. Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go to the real thing. When they told people that Tinubu is a drug dealer, the world media, they were watching. They are watching, pretending. Let's see if Nigeria are going to elect their own Pablo Escobar. Now, the people that wanted to rig for, the people that rigged for Kolu, they decided to go and put Somebody that is the representative of the angry youth. They said angry youth. They call Nigerians who disagree with them, who rejected them, they call them angry youth. They said, okay, you have proven your point. Now let us move on. Are you mad, Dini? Move to where? The youth are telling them, move to where? Are you mad? Nobody's moving anywhere. A drug dealer will not be their president. Now they call them fascist. The people that rigged for Kolu, they thought if putting Obi at number 3, thought he won't have any courage to come and fight them for anything anyway. And as for Atiku, it is esprit de corps. Esprit de corps. Rigging versus rigging. Now, person will rig past, they declare winner in Nigeria. So Atiku cannot, he will come to equity, must come with clean and Abi. Atiku has no clean. All thief, not thief. But you see this one where they represent all these angry youths in their millions, put them for thought. At least I will tell him that we are not in his league. Now, the person they put for thought right now is the one that is turning on the burner on their asses right now. So what happened? They thought they are, in fact, somebody came. Let me say this before we continue. Somebody said that, my wonder shall never end, you. That Mayegun, that is promoting the peaceful dissolution of Nigeria to put an end to this whole madness, okay? Having understand that we are forcefully, and then fraudulently forced together as a people. Now, he said that now that Mayegun is now defending Obi. Listen to that. He's no longer talking about the Yoruba nation. And I said, Alabosi niyi. Let me explain your hypocrisy. Even on this streets, social media streets, I will be happy if you can bring one single person who have contributed positively, physically, verifiably to the cause of the Yoruba people since this whole chat about referendum started. If you can bring just one person who has made that physical contribution, who has rallied people around this more than Mayegun, probably I can give you this 1 million naira in my extra account. I'll give you that. I'm talking about making an impact. Maybe because I am not here, right? Shouting and giving you dates, raising flags and making other, fire or whatever to you is what makes Mayegun not talking about Yoruba nation anymore. But again, that's just on the side. Every day on this platform, you know what I do? Every of my program is to explain to you, every one of you, right, why Nigeria is not working and why it will never work. And every day, right, this platform is convincing everyone that care to listen that, this guy is saying the truth. And you can hear them when they call in to say, I actually used to think it would be. Now I don't. I mean, I've been listening to you for a while. Now I understand why. Because Nigeria and your criminal leaders in Nigeria, their actions and inactions, even against you who believe in Nigeria, are all enough to finally turn everybody back to say, oh, no wonder I now believe in Mayegun. And today is one of the reasons why you will know Nigeria won't work, it's not working, and you understand why you should support a peaceful dissolution of Nigeria. But you haven't agreed yet. Therefore, the impunity, the injustice, the inequality, as well as, state-sponsored profiling in Nigeria is the reason why Nigeria is going to break up. And it's not because Mayegun wants Nigeria to break up. It's not because the IPOB want Nigeria to break up. It's not because every other people who are asking that you either restructure Nigeria to bring a little bit of sanity or let everybody go their separate way. The reason why they are all asking is not because Mayegun is saying it. It's because of reasons like this. Okay? So soon, you will get to see more people that will rather live in a different country than a country led by a drug dealer, a country ruled by drug traffickers and all manner of criminals. Just same way, in 8 years, the demand for the breakup of Nigeria escalated under APC. That's not because Mayegun. What Mayegun does is to make people understand why we have to leave, and to know the people who are actually contributing to why we must leave. That somebody is from your tribe or from your ethnic nationality having contributed to this ruin and destruction, which we are victims of. Every one of you watching me right now, okay? Whether you want to admit it or not, I don't care where you come from. Every part of Nigeria and everyone from every part of Nigeria is a victim of what happened and what is happening in Nigeria. So, but what do you need? You need more education to let them know that people who kind of love their own criminals differently, like the ones we have in Yoruba land. I'm a Yoruba man. We have Yorubas who actually enjoys this corruption, criminality, because they are benefiting from it, or they are hoping to benefit from it at the detriment of the majority. So when we are now talking about Yoruba independence, don't you think we have to educate some of these characters too, that in an independent Yoruba nation, there will be no room for bigotry. There will be no room for racism. There will be no room for this anger and lazing about becoming political, you know what I mean, ass-lickers and the rest. In fact, there will be no room for political patronage, which is what they actually do right now. Now, if you want to make that happen, that starts with education. So yeah, that's what I do every day, explaining to Yorubas and non-Yorubas alike why it is actually the right thing to do when we go our separate ways. A lot of you will follow that in a twinkle. But do you know why you won't? Because the owners, the people who are, the criminals who are benefiting from Nigeria, they come from your tribe. They come from my tribe. They come from your ethnic nationality. They come from mine. They are this group of criminals who are the owners of Nigeria, benefiting from it. They don't want it to break. That they are keeping Nigeria together today. One Nigeria, one Nigeria. You and I know it's not because of me and you. So what else? What else do you need to let you know that sooner or later, everybody's going to agree? Because you know what? God didn't create Nigeria. Remember that. Lugard and his girlfriend, who became his wife, Flora, named Nigeria. And you know what happened? Even as mad as they were, as selfish as they were, they never called Nigeria one Nigeria. That's why we need our history. That is why the social media is the enemy. Because the social media will tell you what your grandfathers, your fathers didn't tell you. The lies that a lot of us are living today were not told us by government. They were told us by our parents, our uncles. Lies about Nigeria. We found out now, and here we are. The clash of generations, the old order, the new order. So the same injustice, the method that the Shiite, they want the method at the IPOB, they want the method that even the NSAS, every injustice everyone has suffered in Nigeria is what has contributed to this uprising. Now, you can't name it Peter Obi. That's where you are also making a mistake. If it was back in the days, the media would have helped you twist it. You call them obituary, you call them different names, but guess what? They are in your families too. You know it. You know I'm saying the truth. All these ones shouting obedient. They are in your family. They are right there in the north, in the south, and you know why they are shouting it. But you can continue to live in that denial. That's not my own job. Okay? But if you understand the people you are dealing with, that they are more intelligent, you may think they are young. They are more intelligent. They are more exposed. They have more clearer understanding of the world than those who gave birth to them. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, you can't tell them about the future anymore when they can see today and they now know better that their tomorrow is only determined by their today. And if they are not involved in their today, then you can't tell them that their tomorrow is guaranteed when they can see you waste away their today. And they know that today is being wasted because of tomorrow. You can't speak English. You can't intimidate them. You can't threaten them. You can't use propaganda. And that is why it seems that you still don't know that it's not about to be this or not. It is like a combination of all rage against an establishment that has finally outlived its usefulness, religion, tribe, and every other card they play. They are now gradually fading away. Religion, tribe, and all these things they are using, they are gradually fading away. Have you not noticed? Now, these young people have turned to FBI. Who be this person that they found the moment the story of, you know what I mean? The story of Tinubu and what is his name? Sanwoolu. And then Yara. Who be this guy? Could Tinubu be a sort of a godfather for other drug traffickers across West Africa as a godfather? It doesn't have to do the drug with them, but they know that if anything goes wrong, they can call the godfather. You know that kind of a thing. Like somebody will just call from Mali, and they will just say, hello, who is that? Say, le passé, passeport, le passé, le Malais, Otara, Osman, Diara, le Malais. Say, SVD they call, Ashiwaju is coming. What's the problem? What's your problem? Pass the message. You know, if you have watched Blacklist and some of these American and then all these, drug, these drug lord movies. Yeah. The real man who is the godfather is a public figure, politician. Nobody knows what he does behind the scene, but he's a deadly drug dealer behind the scene. Nothing happens within that region, that axis, West Africa. Sure, you get that will be godfathers. Let me tell you this story. In 2002, Obasanjo traveled to what's that place called again? Where Gbagbo was their president. Ivory Coast, Abi. Shena Ivory Coast. Sorry, I always mix them up. The same way I mixed up Guinea-Bissau and Guinea-Conakry. Gbagbo, I remember the guy. You shall remember Gbagbo. Laurent Gbagbo. I think it's, where's that again? Ivory Coast. Obasanjo traveled to Ivory Coast as the president of Nigeria in one of his, all this John Kenton, World John Kenton, begging people for debt forgiveness for Nigeria, right? When Obasanjo got to Ivory Coast and he met with Gbagbo, Gbagbo said, sorry, Obasanjo, you have been asking Nigerians to return. But there is this guy here, right from Benin Republic to Togo to Ivory Coast. This guy is a Nigerian and he's been doing so great for us here. Like economically, you know what I mean? He's been so great. Somebody like that, and politically, he has been very helpful too. And he's a Nigerian. In this place, in this axis, West Africa. I say, yeah. What is his name? Here we call him Esho Jinodu. No. Yeah. Esho Jinodu. But you can also call him Buruji Kashamu. You see, Buruji is about money. Buruji, Owo. Kashamu, Owo. So these two are not given names, so they are not something like, anyway, I don't want to make the Kashamu family feels like, no, my ego, don't go there. Just talk about our papa and wait till our papa do. Don't go there. Don't go to our family name. Okay, I won't. Let's leave that anyway. Or you shall get in Yoruba, Buruji, your money is Kashamu, mommy, yeah? Buruji Kashamu was, because it's late now, was a big time, heavy mover trafficker. And for safety and security, when America declared him wanted, he didn't go to Nigeria. He went straight to those French-speaking West African countries. And he offered the government there They are poor countries. Let's remember that. He offered their government proceed from his trade to reinvest them in their economy and keep it running. And as politicians, they just play along. And for years, they gave him that immunity. He was living like a president across those countries for years when America declared him wanted. He didn't go to Nigeria. In Nigeria, nobody hear about him like nothing. Until Obasanjo visited that place. So Obasanjo now met with him. You see, your leaders, if you see your governors know kidnappers, they know assassins, they know blackmailers, they know judges, they know all these people that can do all dirty jobs for them. If you see murderers in your states, your governors know them. The most deadliest cultists in your states, your governors know them. The most deadliest assassin in your state that you don't know, your governors know, your politicians know them. Because they are the men of the underworld. Your president knows the worst and the worst terrorist leader in Nigeria today. If he wants to sit with him this evening, if Bokwari wants to sit with the leaders of all the terrorists in Nigeria, they will bring all of them to him. He will sit with them. They will meet and they will leave. That is why they said governments prefer to own the monopoly of violence. When governments can no longer control the monopoly of violence, that's when they declare war on that group, any group. So if you want to be a criminal in any country, if you see any crime, whether they are drug dealers or drug movers or human traffickers or organ traffickers, or your government know them. It's shocking, Abi? No, it's not shocking. It may be shocking to you, but they will say that's how the world works. Obasanjo met with Kashamu. That's how Kashamu became an Abroadian returning to Nigeria with single mission. Obasanjo said, if you can do all of this in this axis, we need you in Nigeria. Obasanjo knows him. He knows he's a drug kingpin. He knows. So what Obasanjo did was just to collect all his data from the reliable sources, and he invited Buruji to Nigeria to come and do a dirty job for him in Nigeria, politically. Let's cut the long story short. Buruji Kashamu, the moment Obasanjo lost power, Buruji Kashamu, being a good, when you're a drug baron, it's all about deals. You don't talk too much. It's about deals. If they take your deal, that's it. Trust. If they don't take your deal, you pick race, you run away. There's no point in grandstanding. You are a criminal. The people know you. If you offer them, the moment Obasanjo left, it switched straight to Jonathan. When Obasanjo started tackling Jonathan, it didn't take time. Buruji received another immunity from Jonathan. Well, let's say again, let's shall cut the long story short. That's why it is. So Kolu, that is dealing with a generation that they seems not to have been kind of prepared for. Suddenly, they discovered that not only that Kolu has a diplomatic passport from another country. Even in Guinea-Conakry right now, it is now a talk of their town too. In fact, in their country, what they are saying now is that because of this evidence, in their country, in Guinea-Conakry, they said because of this evidence that Nigeria president-elect is also a Guinean, which means, and they said their law in Nigeria will not allow anybody with dual citizenship to be their president. That with this, in French, les papiers, les passeportés, la passeporté pour la Tinubu, and investiture, les passeportés problème investiture. Passport is going to cause a problem for his inauguration in their country right now. So where did it all start? When we are still battling with the passport or no passport, now so we realize that Kolu is actually a friend with one of the world-known drug lord. You see that man in the middle, David Undeyi, that released the image of Kolu passports. Yeah, David Undeyi's Twitter handle has been, sorry, that's not the picture I wanted to use. Sorry guys, 1 second. That's MC Diara. MC, that's a Mecca. MC is in Mecca from the picture we saw online. But some people, you see this generation, right? When they saw MC at Kaba, they said, maybe some people said, Olam, we go carry amo. If it is in a ballot box, so if it is in a ballot box, so well, the joke is on him anyway. Well, I think people here, the people who knew him, who have seen him online, decided to grab him. Are you with me? Everybody they try to touch the Kaba. Alaye won't grab him like a ballot box. You see this man on the left here is also bragging. He's a Malian. He's from Mali. While we were still battling with the identity of Tinubu, whether he's a Guinean or if he's a Nigerian or more, then the video of Tinubu in Guinea-Conakry surfaced. Now, for the record, guys, you know why you shouldn't be afraid of all these guys, okay? Don't let anybody threaten you, all right? Safety first, too, okay? Despite all the freedom we have on social media, the freedom to say whatever we like, that same freedom, right, is also governed by law. Defamation is a crime. Like, if you are saying something that is not true about somebody, like you are lying about them repeatedly, and you think you are actually making, because for likes and for retweets, as they talk for share and all of that, there are consequences for that. It's civil case, okay? If you say something that is not true about anybody, you can get sued. Now, this doesn't even mean like, I'm not living in Nigeria, or I'm not living in Africa. You can get sued anywhere. I can get sued. I know that. And that is why, porn apart, if I want to joke, if I want to laugh, if I want to say things and all that are just about to, if I want to abuse them, of course I can do that. But if I want to say something like making a wrong allegation that is not backed with evidence, that is a crime. And that is why Mayegun, I won't help you fly propaganda, okay? And that is why it is safer here in Nigeria. If somebody says you say something about them on social media, okay, they will use their secret police to track you, arrest you, kidnap you. No court, no nothing, no. And they will start torturing you. They might even force you to make a confessional video and say you are sorry, you apologize, you will never do that again. All of this is their illegal way of fighting what they call illegality. Or anyway, I'm not in Nigeria. You can sue me anywhere, all right? Like anywhere. You can serve me, or you know what I mean. But when it is facts, it is for educational purposes. So if you attack Mayegun, you are just doing that. It's called masturbating in public. And some of you have no shame. So you are free to do that. You are free to point fingers and say, this one is enemy, that one is enemy. It's because you are enemy. No, you're free. It's called masturbating in public. Or juvenile fulmination. I got that. Finally, I've wanted to use that in a long time. Chimamanda Adichie, when they ask her about all these people that have been like ranting and they have been condemning her for the letter he wrote to Joe Biden, right? So they said, what will be our response? And Chimamanda said, you know what? I don't want to waste my time responding to juvenile fulmination from non-juvenile people. I got it. So I've always wanted to use that, fulmination. That is, you see that juvenile. The juvenile is like a toddlers, pekin, children, tan, all these, what do they call them? Tantalo. So Chimamanda puts the likes of Frosto Sotobokeyamo, Dele Alakori, and the rest of them. He said, no, I can't. She said, I can't be responding to the juvenile fulmination from non-juvenile people. People are like, they are not children, but the way they talk like Pekin and the rest. Here you guys. So you don't arrest people because they say something you don't like. Now here is the story. As we were still battling to figure out whether Tinubu is a Guinean or if he is a Nigerian. They say he's a Nigerian, but But what about this drug thing? What is consenting? What is this thing? Tinubu and drug. Tinubu and anything criminal. What are the criminals doing around him? So they said this guy is bragging in Mali. He is a Malian, okay? But here, the moment, this is where they got all the information from. Oh. Gaga.
Appelle-moi, chose, DTO. Appelle-moi Souma. Souma! Souma! Eh, tiens, donne-lui ça. Donne-lui ça, tu dis de remettre à Mara.
Avion est filmé. C'est vrai. Parce qu'on donne la photo là. Ah, on a l'offre pratique.
Abseni.
Oh, qu'ils ne vont pas au même endroit.
Allez, Kader Christian. Il y a un minute.
Le deuxième est parti.
Le deuxième est parti. Hein? On peut mettre.
Ça c'est bon, vous n'avez pas...
Thank you.
You want to also follow him like this again?
No.
Did you see how they quickly covered the camera? When something greeny on the floor was... did you see the other side where they are handing a sort of a suitcase to somebody who dressed like a police? Yeah, I will try and show you the video again. Even though this is so broadcast, they may ask me to pull it down overnight. By tomorrow, YouTube may come back and say, now your video is very offensive. We want you to delete it, or we give you a strike so that you won't be able to, you won't be able to use your YouTube for the next 1 week. Because right now, this kind of information don't come out except somebody who is with them. But let me give you a few info. Even if they go shut us down, we need this tonight. Una no go forget, Abi. I will download the video even if they have to have me to take it down. So the first thing, right? This is the chopper. This chopper belongs to the president, or should I say the presidency of Guinea-Conakry. And that is the country's logo, or should I say their own presidency's emblem on that chopper. You see, this chopper has crashed, according to latest information we had. They said this chopper, in fact, the presidency from that 2008, when the military took over in the Guinea-Conakry, that the presidencies there have been accused of drug trafficking. In fact, they are using the office, using the helicopters and every other, automobiles, whatever that is in the control of the government. They are giving them to questionable characters, drug dealers, which actually gave the country that tag of a narco state. So they said this particular chopper came under probe when another government came in, came under probe that they have to go and crash it. But before they crash it, this is the image of it. But for this particular trip that you saw the video, right? On the side, they said, what was that? Could that be money? In one of the accusations that they accused Condé, remember that their president, Alpha Condé, was overthrown at a point, and he was accused of rigging election and giving the military and those he used for the election, he gave them fake money, fake dollars. Now, Tinubu and his crew, according to report, they were in this Guinea-Conakry in 2019. And they were there as well in 2022. Now, Alpha Condé was in Nigeria in 2019. He was also in Nigeria in 2020, pleading with Bokwari to let Tinubu be the next candidate of APC. All of these are on record. But you see that video you watch, on the side, they were giving something that looked like money. Remember, Tinubu is inside this chopper, was in this chopper. Now, inside the chopper, when it got to a stage that something on the floor was about to be captured, they turned the camera and they covered it henceforth, right? Now, inside the chopper itself, this is the clearer image of Tinubu, Diara, Usman Diara, and Sanwoolu, the governor of Lagos State. Sanwoolu, we don't know if he was governor here or he was about to be governor. Tinubu can be considered as a private citizen. But could he, after receiving the security clearance of the government of Guinea-Conakry, then became a friend to a drug dealer, even though, like Buruji Kashamu, in the areas where he was arrested, Osman Diara, Osman Diara, and his other people, they have not been convicted, but they are very, very well known as top cocaine drug traffickers across West Africa. What is he doing with Tinubu? I don't know if it's making any sense to you yet. Now, let's read this out. The story of the arrest. On October 29, 2009, the Bamako Customs. Now, in fact, I should let you read the first part here. They were accused of drug running. Osman Diara. So the charges against them, they have to drop the charges because the custom in Mali, they lost the cocaine, the evidence. So here is the fact. On October 29, 2009, the Bamako Custom Mobile Intervention Brigade was informed of blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And so following their arrest, let me take this off. Yusuf and Ishmael were apprehended in the airport parking lot while they were in the Toyota Hilux 4x4 registered blah. Following the arrest, Yusuf Fofana and Ishmael Barry cited Haruna Magasi, Fofana, Karunga police officers, Paul Somaro and Madibo Traore. Among the people cited, there were also Mariam Kamara and Osman Dihara alias Osman Yara, against whom the various searches have remained fruitless. So when they got them, during investigation, suddenly the evidence got lost. So because there's no evidence anymore, the case died. Now that man is a friend with the president-elect of Nigeria today. And according to people, they said he is personally bragging right now in Mali that he made Tinubu president of Nigeria. Meanwhile, also, in that same Nigeria, I think there was a time, where is that again, that their media also reported, it's actually a known media in Nigeria, okay, Premium Times. You see this lady, they said she is Sanwoolu's aide, and she's as a cocaine trafficker, and she's been protected to date. Are you with me? She is working for Lagos State governor right now, and she is a cocaine trafficker accused, like in Nigeria media. Are you with me? But she is protected. Right? So all of these are coming back to what somebody who seemed to know them had to say. People said it's coming back. Everything is coming back now, okay? But look at this. Ambody.
And the only way out for us is to continue to do that in the next 4 years. This particular aspirant, as you all know, you can go and check it, the records are there. This is somebody that has been arrested for spending fake American dollars in a nightclub in America. And he's been detained for months. And he knows that he has won mock shots for months before this whole thing was quenched. He's also known that he doesn't have the competence to do what he's being propelled to do. The records are there in Guadalajara General Hospital. This is somebody that has gone for rehabilitation before. We don't want to go too far, but we know. Are we not? Now the truth is this. We don't want to talk about all the things that we know, but we know that, our leadership should have a rethink. Because the truth is this, I will not stand here on the mandate of Lagosians and then allow our great party APC to fritter away down.
So that is one of your big men